God's secret revelation. The hidden blessing coming. January 2026. Divine breakthrough that changes everything tonight. Come close to me, my beloved child, and prepare your heart to receive the most extraordinary revelation I have ever given about your immediate future. Tonight, I am pulling back the veil between heaven and earth to show you a hidden blessing that is already being prepared in the spiritual realm for manifestation in January 2026. This is not just another encouraging word or general promise of better days ahead. This is a specific, detailed preview of the supernatural breakthrough that will completely transform your life in ways you have never dared to imagine. I see you there, and perhaps feeling weary from the challenges of this year, wondering if things will ever truly change for the better in your life. I see how you have been praying, believing, and hoping for breakthrough, but sometimes questioning whether your prayers are really being heard or if your situation will ever significantly improve. I see the dreams that have been deferred, the promises that seem delayed, the breakthroughs that have felt just out of reach for so long that you have begun to wonder if they will ever come. But tonight, everything changes. Tonight, I am about to reveal to you the exact nature of the blessing that I have been preparing for you behind the scenes, the specific timing of when it will manifest, and the precise steps you must take to position yourself to receive it fully. What I am about to show you is not a possibility or a probability. It is a certainty that has already been decreed in heaven and is now moving toward manifestation in your earthly experience. The blessing I am about to reveal is unlike anything you have experienced before in your life. It is not just an improvement in your current circumstances or a solution to your existing problems. It is a complete elevation to a new level of living, a supernatural upgrade that will affect every area of your life simultaneously, a divine breakthrough that will make your past struggles seem like distant memories. I need you to understand that this blessing has been in preparation for years, even decades. Every challenge you have faced, every lesson you have learned, every character development you have undergone has been preparing you to receive and steward this blessing appropriately. You have been in a season of preparation, and that season is about to end with a graduation into a level of blessing that will astonish everyone who knows you. The reason I am revealing this to you tonight, several months before its manifestation, is not to create impatience or presumption, but to activate your faith and prepare your heart to receive what I am about to do. When you know that breakthrough is coming, you can endure the remaining challenges with joy and expectation. When you understand the magnitude of what I am preparing, you can position yourself appropriately to receive it fully. Throughout Scripture, I have always given my people advance notice of the great things I was about to do in their lives. I told Abraham about Isaac before he was conceived. I told Joseph about his promotion before he left the prison. I told Moses about the promised land before he led the people out of Egypt. I am the same God today, and I still speak to my people about what I am preparing for them so they can position themselves to receive it. As we journey through the next hour together, I will reveal the 7 specific areas where this blessing will manifest in your life, the exact timing of when each phase will begin, and the spiritual and practical steps you must take to ensure you receive everything I have prepared for you. I will also show you how this blessing will not only transform your life, but will position you to be a blessing to many others who are waiting for their own breakthrough. But I need you to understand that what I am about to reveal requires faith to believe and courage to act upon. The blessing I am preparing for you is so far beyond your current experience that your natural mind will struggle to accept it as possible. You will need to anchor your expectation in my character and my promises rather than in your past experience or current circumstances. This is not a message for the casual believer or the spiritually immature. This is a message for those who are ready to step into the fullness of their destiny, who are prepared to receive blessings that will require greater responsibility and stewardship, who are willing to be used as demonstrations of my goodness and faithfulness to a watching world. The blessing that is coming in January 2020 is not just for you, it is through you. It is designed not just to improve your life, but to position you as a conduit of blessing to your family, your community, and your generation. You are about to become a living testimony of what happens when someone fully surrenders to my will and position themselves to receive my best. Prepare your heart to receive revelation that will transform not just how you view your future, but how you live every day between now and the manifestation of this blessing. What I am about to show you will require you to make some significant changes in how you think, how you prepare, and how you position yourself. But those who make these adjustments will experience breakthrough beyond their wildest dreams. My precious child, I see the weariness that has settled deep within your soul after years of hoping for breakthrough that seemed to never fully arrive. I see how you have prayed countless prayers, believed countless promises, and declared countless confessions, only to watch the months and years pass with incremental changes, but no dramatic transformation that truly altered the trajectory of your life. I see you lying awake at night, your mind cycling through the same questions that have haunted you for so long. Why do other people seem to experience sudden breakthrough while you continue to struggle with the same issues year after year? Why do your prayers seem to hit the ceiling while others testify of miraculous interventions and supernatural provision? Why does breakthrough always seem to be just around the corner, but never actually arrive in the fullness you have been believing for? I see the way you have begun to question whether you are doing something wrong, whether there is some hidden sin or lack of faith that is blocking your breakthrough, whether you are somehow disqualified from the level of blessing that others seem to receive so effortlessly. You have examined your heart, confessed every sin you can think of, increased your giving, intensified your prayer life, and still the breakthrough you long for remains elusive. I see how you have watched other believers receive promotions, financial windfalls, healing miracles, and relationship breakthroughs, while you continue to struggle in the same areas where you have been believing for change for years. You celebrate with them publicly, but privately you wonder why their breakthrough came so quickly while yours seems to be taking so long. I see the way you have begun to lower your expectations, to accept mediocrity as normal, to convince yourself that perhaps God's plan for your life is simply different from others, perhaps less dramatic, perhaps less blessed. You have started to redefine breakthrough as small improvements rather than dramatic transformation, settling for incremental progress rather than believing for the quantum leap you once expected. I see how you have become tired of hoping, tired of believing, tired of declaring promises that seem to take forever to manifest. You still believe in my goodness and my power, but you have become cautious about getting your hopes up too high, protecting yourself from the disappointment that comes when breakthrough is delayed once again. I see the way you have begun to question the testimonies of others, wondering if they are exaggerating their blessings or if they are simply more favored than you are. You hear stories of sudden financial provision, unexpected promotions, miraculous healing, and restored relationships, and while you want to believe them, part of you wonders why these things never seem to happen to you. I see how you have started to make peace with your current circumstances, telling yourself that perhaps this is simply where I want you to be, that perhaps the struggle is the blessing, that perhaps you are supposed to learn contentment in your current situation rather than believing for dramatic change. I see the way you have begun to protect yourself emotionally by not fully engaging with promises of breakthrough when you hear them preached or prophesied. You listen with one ear while keeping your heart guarded, afraid to fully believe because you have been disappointed so many times before when breakthrough did not come as quickly or as dramatically as you expected. I see how you have started to compare your timeline with others, feeling like you are behind in life, like you have missed opportunities that others have seized, like you are running out of time to experience the level of success and blessing that you once believed was your destiny. I see the way you have begun to question whether the dreams I placed in your heart are really from me or just wishful thinking on your part. The vision of the life you once believed I was calling you to seems so far from your current reality that you wonder if you misheard my voice or if you were presumptuous in your expectations. I see how you have become skilled at encouraging others in their pursuit of breakthrough, while privately struggling with discouragement about your own situation. You have become a cheerleader for other people's dreams while quietly letting go of your own, convincing yourself that perhaps you are called to be a supporter rather than a recipient of dramatic blessing. I see the way you have started to spiritualize your struggles, telling yourself that perhaps the delay in breakthrough is building character, teaching patience, or preparing you for something greater. While there is truth in this, I also see how you have used this reasoning to avoid the disappointment of continuing to believe for breakthrough that seems to never come. I see how you have begun to live in survival mode rather than breakthrough mode, focusing on just getting through each day rather than believing for the dramatic transformation that would change everything. You have become skilled at managing your current circumstances rather than believing for the supernatural intervention that would alter them completely. But most of all, my beloved child, I see how you have forgotten that I am the God of suddenly, the God who can change everything in a moment, the God who specializes in breakthrough that comes when you least expect it, but most need it. You have forgotten that my timing is perfect, that every delay has been purposeful, and that the breakthrough I am preparing for you is far greater than anything you could have received in your own timing. You have forgotten that I am not just the God who answers prayers, but the God who exceeds expectations, who does immeasurably more than you can ask or imagine, who delights in surprising my children with blessings that are far beyond what they dared to hope for. Tonight, I am about to remind you of who I am and what I am capable of doing in your life. Tonight, I am about to restore your expectation and reactivate your faith for breakthrough that will make up for every delay, every disappointment, and every moment when you wondered if your breakthrough would ever come. Now, let me share with you my perspective on what you call delayed breakthrough, because understanding how I view your journey will completely transform your expectation for what is coming and help you recognize the perfection of my timing in your life. From my throne room in eternity, I do not see delays in your breakthrough. I see preparation for breakthrough that is far greater than what you originally asked for or imagined. Every month that has passed without the manifestation you expected has been a month of behind-the-scenes preparation for a blessing so magnificent that it required extensive groundwork to ensure you could receive it, steward it, and sustain it. When you have been praying for financial breakthrough, I have been preparing not just provision for your current needs, but wealth that will impact generations. When you have been believing for career advancement, I have been orchestrating not just a promotion, but a complete career transformation that will position you as a leader in your field. When you have been hoping for relationship restoration, I have been preparing not just healing of current relationships, but connections that will open doors you never knew existed. The reason your breakthrough has taken longer than you expected is not because I am slow to answer or because there is something wrong with you. It is because I love you too much to give you a small blessing when I have a massive one prepared. I care about you too deeply to provide a temporary solution when I have a permanent transformation waiting. Think about the story of Joseph, who spent years in slavery and prison before being elevated to second in command of Egypt. Each year of delay was not punishment or abandonment. It was preparation for a level of authority and influence that required specific character development and experience. If I had promoted him immediately after his dreams, he would not have been ready for the magnitude of responsibility I was preparing for him. Consider the journey of Moses, who spent 40 years in the wilderness before I called him to lead my people out of Egypt. Those decades were not wasted time. They were essential preparation for a calling that required a level of humility, dependence, and spiritual authority that could only be developed through extended seasons of testing and refinement. Remember the story of David, who was anointed as king, but then spent years running from Saul before actually taking the throne. Every battle he fought, every hardship he endured, every moment of uncertainty he experienced was preparing him for the level of leadership that would make him the greatest king in Israel's history. This is how I operate with all my children who are destined for significant breakthrough. The greater the blessing I am preparing, the more thorough the preparation required. The higher the level I am calling you to, the deeper the foundation that must be laid. The more public the platform I am creating for you, the more private the character development that must take place first. I want you to understand that every challenge you have faced during this season of waiting has been strategically designed to prepare you for the blessing that is coming. Every disappointment has been developing your ability to trust me when circumstances do not make sense. Every delay has been building your capacity to receive blessing without becoming prideful or presumptuous. Every financial struggle has been teaching you the value of money and the importance of wise stewardship, so that when abundance comes, you will handle it responsibly. Every career frustration has been developing your work ethic and your character, so that when promotion comes, you will be ready for the increased responsibility and influence. Every relationship challenge has been teaching you about love, forgiveness, and healthy boundaries, so that when the right connections come, you will be able to maintain them successfully. Every health issue has been developing your appreciation for wholeness and your compassion for others who suffer, so that when healing comes, you will use it to help others. The blessing that is coming in January 2026 is not just compensation for what you have endured. It is the culmination of everything you have learned, developed, and become during this season of preparation. It is perfectly timed to coincide with your readiness to receive it, steward it, and use it for my glory and the benefit of others. I also want you to understand that the magnitude of this blessing required specific alignments in the spiritual realm that take time to orchestrate. I have been moving people into position, creating opportunities, removing obstacles, and preparing circumstances that will converge at exactly the right moment to create the perfect conditions for your breakthrough. Think of it like a master conductor preparing for a symphony performance. Every musician must be in their proper place. Every instrument must be tuned correctly. Every piece of music must be ready, and the timing must be perfect for the performance to achieve its full impact. This is what I have been doing in the spiritual realm regarding your breakthrough. I have been positioning people who will play crucial roles in your blessing. I have been preparing opportunities that will become available at exactly the right time. I have been removing hindrances and obstacles that would have limited the fullness of what I want to do. I have been creating circumstances that will maximize the impact and sustainability of your breakthrough. The blessing that is coming is not just about improving your personal situation. It is about positioning you to be a demonstration of my goodness and faithfulness to a watching world. The timing of January 2026 is significant because it represents a new season, not just for you, but for many of my people who have been in extended seasons of preparation. You are part of a generation that I am raising up to demonstrate my power and provisions in unprecedented ways. The delays you have experienced are not unique to you. They are part of a larger pattern of preparation that I am orchestrating among my people who are called to significant breakthrough and influence. The blessing that is coming will not only transform your life, but it will inspire faith in others who have been waiting for their own breakthrough. Your testimony will become a catalyst for breakthrough in the lives of many others who need to see that I am still the God of the impossible, still the God who promotes and provides, still the God who remembers His promises and fulfills them in perfect timing. From my perspective, everything has been working together for your good. Even the delays and disappointments that have felt so painful from your limited viewpoint. Every piece of your journey has been necessary to prepare you for what is coming. And when you see the fullness of the blessing I am about to release, you will understand why the timing had to be exactly as it has been. Now, I will reveal to you the 7 specific areas where this hidden blessing will manifest in your life, beginning in January 2026, along with the exact nature of the breakthrough you can expect in each area and the timeline for its full manifestation. First area of blessing: supernatural financial breakthrough. Beginning in the second week of January 2026, you will experience a financial breakthrough that is unlike anything you have ever experienced before. This will not be a gradual improvement in your financial situation, but a sudden, dramatic increase in your income and assets that will completely transform your economic reality. I am orchestrating multiple streams of income that will converge simultaneously to create a financial avalanche of blessing. You will receive unexpected inheritances, investment returns that exceed all projections, business opportunities that generate immediate profit, and employment offers that include compensation packages far beyond your current experience. The spiritual root of this financial breakthrough lies in the fact that you have been faithful with little, and now I am making you ruler over much. Every act of generosity you have shown during seasons of lack, every tithe you have given when it was difficult, every offering you have made in faith has been accumulating in your heavenly account, and the time has come for a massive withdrawal. But this financial blessing is not just about personal prosperity. I am positioning you to be a major contributor to kingdom advancement, a significant supporter of missions and ministry, and a source of provision for others who are in need. The wealth that is coming will flow through you, not just to you. Specific timeline for financial breakthrough: January 8 to 15, 2026. The first unexpected financial windfall arrives. February 2026. New income stream begins generating substantial monthly revenue. March 2026. Investment portfolio experiences unprecedented growth. April 2026. Business opportunity presents itself with immediate profit potential. May 2026. All streams converge to create sustained financial abundance. Second area of blessing: career and ministry elevation. In January 2026, you will also experience a dramatic elevation in your career and ministry that will position you as a leader and influencer in your field. This promotion will come suddenly and will involve responsibilities and opportunities that you never imagined would be available to you. I am removing people from positions of authority who have been blocking your advancement, and I am opening doors that have been closed to you for years. The skills you have developed during your season of waiting, the character you have built through challenges, and the wisdom you have gained through experience have all been preparing you for this moment of elevation. This career breakthrough will not just be about increased income or status, although both will be included. It will be about positioning you to influence systems, impact lives, and advance my kingdom through your professional platform. You will become known as someone who operates with integrity, wisdom, and supernatural favor. Specific timeline for career elevation: January 2026. Unexpected opportunity for advancement presents itself. February 2026. Official promotion to a new position begins. March 2026. Recognition and influence begin to expand rapidly. April 2026. Leadership opportunities multiply beyond expectations. May 2026. Platform for kingdom influence becomes fully established. Third area of blessing: relationship restoration and enhancement. The blessing coming in January 2026 will also include supernatural restoration and enhancement of your most important relationships. Broken relationships will be healed, strained connections will be strengthened, and new relationships will be formed that will enrich your life beyond measure. I am softening hearts that have been hardened against you, opening lines of communication that have been closed, and creating opportunities for reconciliation that seemed impossible. The forgiveness you have extended to others, the love you have shown despite being hurt, and the prayers you have prayed for those who have wronged you are about to be rewarded with restored relationships. But this blessing will go beyond just healing what has been broken. I am also bringing new people into your life who will become lifelong friends, trusted advisors, and valuable partners in both personal and professional endeavors. These relationships will open doors, provide opportunities, and create joy that will last for decades. Specific timeline for relationship breakthrough: January 2026. First significant relationship healing occurs. February 2026. New meaningful relationships begin to form. March 2026. Family relationships experience supernatural restoration. April 2026. Professional relationships provide unexpected opportunities. May 2026. Complete relationship transformation becomes evident. Fourth area of blessing: health and physical restoration. In January 2026, you will also experience a supernatural restoration of your health and physical vitality that will reverse years of decline and position you for decades of strength and energy. This healing will be so complete and dramatic that it will serve as a testimony to others of my power to restore and renew. Every health issue you have struggled with, every physical limitation you have endured, every symptom that has caused you concern will be addressed through supernatural intervention. Your body will be restored to optimal function. Your energy will be renewed like the eagle's, and your physical strength will be enhanced beyond what you experienced even in your youth. This health breakthrough is not just about feeling better or living longer, although both will be included. It is about positioning you to have the physical capacity to fulfill the calling and to handle the responsibilities that come with the other areas of blessing I am releasing in your life. Specific timeline for health restoration: January 2026. First signs of supernatural healing become evident. February 2026. Energy levels increase dramatically. March 2026. Chronic issues begin to resolve completely. April 2026. Physical strength and vitality reach new levels. May 2026. Complete health transformation is fully manifested. Fifth area of blessing: spiritual authority and influence. The blessing coming in January 2026 will also include a dramatic increase in your spiritual authority and influence that will position you as a voice that people listen to and a leader that others follow. Your prayers will carry more power, your words will have greater impact, and your presence will bring transformation to every environment you enter. I am releasing a new level of anointing upon your life that will enable you to operate in spiritual gifts and abilities that you have never experienced before. You will move in prophetic insight, supernatural wisdom, and miraculous power that will astonish both believers and unbelievers. This spiritual breakthrough will not just be about personal spiritual growth, although that will be included. It will be about positioning you to impact lives, transform communities, and advance my kingdom through the spiritual authority you carry. Specific timeline for spiritual breakthrough: January 2026, new level of anointing begins to manifest. February 2026, spiritual gifts operate at unprecedented levels. March 2026, influence and platform for ministry expand rapidly. April 2026, miraculous demonstrations of power become regular. May 2026, spiritual authority becomes fully established and recognized. Sixth area of blessing, creative and intellectual enhancement. In January 2026, you will also experience a supernatural enhancement of your creative abilities and intellectual capacity that will enable you to produce work, develop ideas, and solve problems at levels you never thought possible. Your mind will operate with clarity and creativity that will amaze even yourself. I am downloading into your spirit new ideas, innovative solutions, and creative concepts that will not only benefit your own life, but will provide value to others and generate multiple streams of income. You will become known as someone who thinks outside the box and who consistently produces excellent work. This intellectual and creative breakthrough will open doors in fields you never considered, create opportunities you never imagined, and position you as an expert and innovator in multiple areas of interest and expertise. Specific timeline for creative breakthrough: January 2026, first surge of new ideas and creative inspiration. February 2026, intellectual capacity increases dramatically. March 2026, creative projects begin generating recognitions and income. April 2026, innovative solutions attract attention and opportunities. May 2026, reputation as creative innovator becomes established. Seventh area of blessing, legacy and generational impact. The final area of blessing that will manifest beginning in January 2026 is the establishment of a legacy that will impact generations to come. The breakthrough you experience will not just benefit you personally, but will create advantages and opportunities for your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I am positioning you to break generational curses and establish generational blessings that will affect your family line for centuries. The wealth you accumulate will be passed down. The influence you gain will open doors for your descendants, and the spiritual authority you carry will create a covering over your entire family line. This generational breakthrough will also include the salvation and spiritual awakening of family members who have been resistant to the gospel. Your testimony of breakthrough will become the catalyst for their own transformation and spiritual rebirth. Specific timeline for legacy establishment: January 2026, foundation for generational blessing begins to form. February 2026, family members begin to experience breakthrough. March 2026, generational curses begin to break permanently. April 2026, legacy building opportunities multiply rapidly. May 2026, generational blessing pattern becomes fully established. The interconnected nature of these blessings. These 7 areas of blessing are not separate events, but interconnected aspects of a single massive breakthrough that will transform every area of your life simultaneously. The financial blessing will provide resources for the other areas. The career elevation will create platforms for influence. The relationship restoration will provide support and partnership. The health breakthrough will provide energy and capacity. The spiritual authority will provide power and direction. The creative enhancement will provide innovation and excellence. And the legacy establishment will provide lasting impact. When you understand how these blessings work together, you can prepare for the entire package rather than focusing on just one area. This comprehensive breakthrough is designed to position you as a demonstration of my goodness and faithfulness to a watching world. The spiritual requirements for receiving this blessing. While this blessing is already prepared and scheduled for manifestation, there are spiritual requirements that must be met to receive it fully. These are not works that earn the blessing, but positioning that allows you to receive what I have already prepared for you. You must maintain expectant faith between now and January, refusing to let disappointment or delay cause you to lower your expectations. You must continue to be faithful in the small things, demonstrating that you can be trusted with the large things that are coming. You must maintain a heart of gratitude and generosity, showing that you understand blessing is meant to flow through you, not just to you. Now I will give you the specific steps you must take between now and January 2026 to position yourself to receive the fullness of this hidden blessing. These are not works that earn the blessing, but preparations that ensure you are ready to receive, steward, and sustain what I am about to do in your life. Preparation. Step 1. Activate expectant faith through daily declaration. Between now and January 2026, you must spend time each morning declaring your expectation for the blessing that is coming. This is not positive thinking or wishful hoping, but faith-filled declaration that aligns your heart and mind with what I have already decreed in heaven. Create a specific declaration that includes all 7 areas of blessing and speak it out loud every morning before you begin your day. Stand in front of a mirror if possible, look yourself in the eyes, and declare with conviction, God has prepared a hidden blessing for me that will manifest in January 2026. I will experience supernatural financial breakthrough, career and ministry elevation, relationship restoration and enhancement, health and physical restoration, spiritual authority and influence, creative and intellectual enhancement, and legacy and generational impact. I receive this blessing by faith and prepare my heart to steward it for God's glory. This daily declaration serves multiple purposes. It keeps your expectation high, aligns your thoughts with my promises, and creates an atmosphere of faith that attracts the blessing I am preparing for you. Why this matters. Your words have creative power, and daily declaration of what I have promised creates spiritual momentum that accelerates the manifestation of blessing. How to implement. Set a specific time each morning for this declaration. Write out your personal declaration and keep it where you can read it daily. Speak with convictions and emotion, not just as a ritual. What to expect. Within the first week, you will notice an increase in faith and expectation. Within a month, you will begin to see small signs that confirm the larger blessing is coming. Preparation. Step 2. Increase your capacity through generous giving. One of the most important preparations you can make is to increase your capacity to receive blessing by increasing your generosity in giving. The principle of sowing and reaping is not just about financial return, but about expanding your capacity to receive and steward larger blessings. Between now and January, I want you to look for opportunities to give beyond your normal tithe and offerings. Give to missions. Give to people in need. Give to ministries that are advancing my kingdom. But do not give out of obligation or manipulation. Give out of joy and expectation. knowing that every seed you sow is expanding your capacity to receive the harvest that is coming. The amount you give is not as important as the heart with which you give and the faith you exercise in the giving. Even if you can only give small amounts, give them with great faith and expectation, knowing that I see your heart and honor your sacrifice. Why this matters? Giving creates capacity to receive. Those who are faithful in giving will be entrusted with greater resources to manage and distribute. How to implement? Set aside a specific amount each month for extra giving beyond your regular tithe. Look for specific needs and opportunities to give strategically. Keep a record of your giving to track how God multiplies your generosity. What to expect? As you increase your giving, you will notice an increase in unexpected provision and favor in your own life. Your heart will also become more aligned with God's heart for blessing others. Preparation. Step 3. Develop skills and knowledge for your coming promotion. The career and ministry elevation that is coming in January will require skills and knowledge that you may not currently possess. Between now and then, I want you to invest in developing yourself professionally and spiritually so that you are ready for the opportunities I am preparing. Take courses, read books, attend seminars, and seek mentorship in areas related to your field of calling. But do not just focus on technical skills. Also develop your leadership abilities, communication skills, and spiritual maturity. The promotion that is coming will require you to influence others and carry greater responsibility. Ask me to show you specifically what skills you need to develop and what knowledge you need to acquire. I will guide you to the right resources and opportunities for growth that will prepare you for the elevation that is coming. Why this matters? Preparation meets opportunity to create breakthrough. Those who are prepared when opportunity comes will maximize the blessing they receive. How to implement? Assess your current skills and identify areas for improvement. Create a learning plan with specific goals and timelines. Invest time and resources in your development consistently. What to expect? As you develop new skills and knowledge, you will begin to see opportunities that you didn't notice before. Your confidence will increase, and you will be ready when promotion comes. Preparation. Step 4. Heal and strengthen your relationships. The relationship restoration that is coming in January will be more powerful if you prepare the ground through forgiveness, reconciliation, and improved communication skills. Between now and then, take initiative to heal any broken relationships in your life and to strengthen the healthy ones. Reach out to people you need to forgive or ask forgiveness from. Have difficult conversations that you have been avoiding. Invest time and energy in the relationships that matter most to you. Practice better communication skills, learn conflict resolution techniques, and develop emotional intelligence. But do not try to force reconciliation where the other party is not ready. Focus on your own heart attitude, your own forgiveness, and your own growth in relationship skills. I will handle the hearts of others in my timing. Why this matters? Healthy relationships provide support, opportunities, and joy that enhance every other area of blessing. Healed relationships also remove hindrances to spiritual breakthrough. How to implement? Make a list of relationships that need attention. Prioritize the most important ones and take specific action to address issues. Invest in learning better relationship skills through books, counseling, or seminars. What to expect. As you work on healing and strengthening relationships, you will experience greater peace and joy in your daily life. You will also create the foundation for the supernatural relationship restoration that is coming. Preparation. It's step 5. Optimize your physical health and energy. The health restoration that is coming in January will be more complete if you prepare your body through wise lifestyle choices and healthy habits. Between now and then, take steps to improve your diet, exercise routine, sleep patterns, and stress management. This is not about earning healing through good behavior, but about positioning your body to receive and sustain the supernatural restoration I am preparing. When divine healing comes, it will be more easily maintained if you have established healthy patterns of living. Ask me to show you specific changes you need to make in your lifestyle and health habits. I will guide you to the right foods, exercises, and health practices that will prepare your body for the restoration that is coming. Why this matters. Physical health affects every other area of life. A healthy body provides the energy and capacity needed to steward the other blessings that are coming. How to implement. Assess your current health habits and identify areas for improvement. Create a realistic plan for gradual changes. Seek professional guidance if needed for nutrition, exercise, or medical issues. What to expect. As you improve your health habits, you will begin to feel better physically and have more energy. This will create momentum for the supernatural health breakthrough that is coming. Preparation. Step 6. Cultivate your spiritual life and intimacy with God. The spiritual authority and influence that is coming in January will flow from a deep, intimate relationship with me. Between now and then, prioritize developing your prayer life, worship practices, and knowledge of my word. Spend quality time with me daily, not just asking for things, but enjoying my presence and getting to know my heart. Study my word, not just for information, but for transformation. Practice hearing my voice and following my guidance in small things, so you will be ready for the greater spiritual authority that is coming. Develop spiritual disciplines that will sustain you when the blessing comes and the responsibilities increase. Learn to fast, pray, worship, and meditate on my word in ways that keep you connected to me, regardless of how busy or successful you become. Why this matters. Spiritual authority flows from intimacy with God. Those who know God's heart will be trusted with greater influence and responsibility. How to implement. Establish consistent daily times for prayer, worship, and Bible study. Join or form a prayer group for accountability and encouragement. Practice spiritual disciplines regularly, not just when you feel like it. What to expect. As you deepen your relationship with God, you will experience greater peace, wisdom, and spiritual sensitivity. You will also begin to see increased answers to prayer and spiritual breakthrough. Preparation. Step 7. Create systems and structures for managing blessing. The comprehensive blessing that is coming in January will require systems and structures to manage it effectively. Between now and then, begin creating the organizational framework that will help you steward the financial, professional, and ministry opportunities that are coming. This might include setting up business entities, creating financial management systems, developing team structures, or establishing ministry frameworks. The specific systems you need will depend on the nature of your calling and the type of blessing you are receiving. Ask me to show you what structures you need to put in place and begin working on them now. Do not wait until the blessing comes to think about how you will manage it. Preparation demonstrates faith and creates capacity for greater blessing. Why this matters? Proper systems and structures allow you to maximize the impact of blessing and sustain it long term. Those who are prepared to manage blessing will be entrusted with more. How to implement? Assess what systems you will need based on the blessing that is coming. Begin creating simple versions of these systems now. Seek professional guidance for legal, financial, or organizational structures as needed. What to expect? As you create systems for managing blessing, you will feel more confident and prepared for what is coming. You will also begin to attract opportunities and resources that fit into these systems. My precious child, as we reach the end of this extraordinary revelation, I want you to understand that everything I have shared with you tonight is not wishful thinking or spiritual fantasy. It is a preview of the reality that I have already prepared for you in the spiritual realm, and that will begin manifesting in your physical experience in January 2026. The 7 areas of blessing that I have revealed to you tonight represent the most comprehensive breakthrough you have ever experienced in your life. The supernatural financial breakthrough, career and ministry elevation, relationship restoration and enhancement, health and physical restoration, spiritual authority and influence, creative and intellectual enhancement, and legacy and generational impact will work together to transform every aspect of your existence and position you as a demonstration of my goodness and faithfulness. Remember the 7 preparation steps that will position you to receive the fullness of this blessing. Activate expectant faith through daily declaration. Increase your capacity through generous giving. Develop skills and knowledge for your coming promotion. Heal and strengthen your relationships. Optimize your physical health and energy. Cultivate your spiritual life and intimacy with me. And create systems and structures for managing blessing. But most importantly, remember this. The blessing that is coming is not just about improving your personal life, although it will certainly do that. It is about positioning you to be a blessing to others, to demonstrate my power and provision to a watching world, and to advance my kingdom through the platform and resources I am placing in your hands. The reason I have revealed this to you several months in advance is not to create impatience or presumption, but to activate your faith and prepare your heart for what is coming. When you know that breakthrough is certain, you can endure the remaining challenges with joy and expectation. When you understand the magnitude of what I am preparing, you can make the necessary adjustments to position yourself to receive it fully. I see your future, beloved one, and it is more glorious than you have ever dared to imagine. Starting in January 2026, you will begin to experience a level of blessing, favor, and breakthrough that will make your past struggles seem like distant memories. You will become a living testimony of what happens when someone fully surrenders to my will and positions themselves to receive my best. Your family will be amazed by the transformation they see in your life. Your friends will be inspired by your testimony of breakthrough. Your community will benefit from the resources and influence I place in your hands. Your generation will be impacted by the legacy you establish through the blessing you receive. As you leave this place tonight and begin to implement the preparation steps I have given you, do not let doubt or discouragement talk you out of what you have heard. The enemy will try to convince you that this blessing is too good to be true, that you are not qualified to receive it, or that something will prevent it from manifesting. But I am telling you that this blessing is as certain as my love for you, and nothing can stop what I have decreed. Every day between now and January 2026 is a day of preparation, a day of positioning, a day of building faith and expectation for what is coming. Use this time wisely, prepare thoroughly, and maintain your expectation, regardless of what circumstances may suggest or what delays you may experience. When January 2026 arrives, you will begin to see the first signs of the blessing I have revealed to you tonight. By May 2026, the full manifestation will be evident in every area of your life. By December 2026, you will be living in a reality so different from your current experience that you will barely recognize your former life. Come back tomorrow, my precious one. I will have another message for your heart, more specific guidance about the preparations you need to make and the steps you need to take in the months ahead. Until then, remember this: your breakthrough is not just coming, it is already prepared and waiting for the perfect moment of manifestation. I love you with an everlasting love, and the blessing I have prepared for you is as certain as my love. The hidden blessing of January 2026 will exceed your highest expectations and establish you as a demonstration of my faithfulness for generations to come.